Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when the noise around you quiets down. The applause fades, the compliments disappear, and the crowd that once cheered for you is nowhere to be found. In that stillness, you are left with one voice, your own. And the question is, what does that voice say about you? Too often, we search endlessly for something or someone to believe in. We look outward for validation, approval, support, hoping someone else will recognize our worth before we do. But the truth is, if you need something to believe in, start with yourself. Belief is not something you borrow from others. It's something you build within. It is a personal decision, a daily commitment to trust the potential God placed inside of you. You were not created to seek permission to be great. You were designed with purpose. You carry gifts, talents, and wisdom that no one else can offer this world in the way you can. But until you believe in you, those gifts remain dormant. Belief is what activates purpose. It's not about feeling ready or being perfect. It's about positioning yourself to grow. And growth only happens when you say, I may not have it all figured out, but I trust myself enough to take the next step. When you believe in yourself, you stop waiting for opportunities to knock and start building your own doors. You stop being controlled by rejection and start being fueled by resilience. Understand this, you are your most important investment, not your job, not your title, not your bank account. You. When you value yourself, you begin to attract what aligns with your identity. You make better decisions. You choose healthier relationships. You pursue higher standards. Your belief in yourself becomes the thermostat for every area of your life. And when others see that conviction in you, they'll start to believe in you too. But by then, you won't need their belief to move forward. So I urge you, stop asking the world to believe in something you haven't yet committed to. Begin each day with a decision to stand tall in your identity. Speak to yourself with courage. Work on your growth like your future depends on it, because it does. And when doubt whispers in your ear, remind it, I believe in me. And that's enough to begin. Because if you're looking for something to believe in, you've been it all along. There comes a time in life when everything around you goes quiet. The applause you once heard fades, the recognition stops, the support you relied on becomes distant, and in that silence you are left with only one voice, your own. The question is, what does that voice say to you? What do you believe about yourself when there's no one else around to tell you who you are or what you can become? This is where your journey truly begins. Because in life, it's easy to believe in others, in their talents, their strength, their success. But the real challenge and the real transformation begins when you choose to believe in yourself. Too many people live their lives waiting for permission to be great. They wait for someone to tell them they are good enough, smart enough, talented enough. But the truth is, no one can give you that permission. It's something you must give yourself. You were born with a purpose. You were born with gifts, abilities, and potential that the world needs. But potential means nothing if you don't believe in it. It remains locked up, unused, and unfulfilled. Belief is the key that unlocks your future. Without it, the doors stay shut. With it, the impossible becomes possible. When you start to believe in yourself, something inside you shifts. You stop seeking validation from others. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's. You stop doubting whether you are enough. Instead, you begin to see your life as valuable, your experiences as meaningful, and your efforts as worthwhile. That belief doesn't make everything easy, but it does make everything possible, because self-belief fuels action, and action leads to results. When you move with confidence, Even if you're afraid, you attract opportunities, relationships, and breakthroughs that insecurity would have pushed away. Believing in yourself doesn't mean ignoring your flaws. It means understanding that you're a work in progress, but that you are still worthy of success, love, and abundance while you grow. It means refusing to let fear control your future. Fear will always exist. Doubt will always whisper. But belief in yourself is louder when you decide to feed it daily. Speak life into your mind. Protect your energy. Surround yourself with people who see the greatness in you. But more importantly, be the first to see it in yourself. You must remember that every person who made a difference in this world began with belief. Before the business, the book, the invention, or the movement, there was belief. A belief that said, I can do this. A belief that said, my voice matters. A belief that said, even if I fail, I will try again. That's the power of starting with yourself. When you have nothing else to lean on, no money, no mentor, no cheerleaders, your belief becomes your foundation. It becomes the thing you stand on when everything else shakes. And maybe right now, you don't feel confident. Maybe life has disappointed you. Maybe people have underestimated you, abandoned you, or broken your trust. But let me remind you, none of that defines who you are. You still have the power to rise. You still have the power to rebuild. And you still have every right to believe that your best days are not behind you. They are still ahead. But it starts with belief. Not in luck, not in chance, not even in the opinions of others. It starts with you. So if you need something to believe in, don't wait for a sign. Don't wait for approval. Believe in the one person who can change your entire life. You were not created to seek permission to be great. Greatness is not something that is handed to you by someone else. It is something that is discovered, cultivated, and released from within. Many people wait years, even decades, hoping that someone will finally see their potential and open a door for them. They live hoping for recognition, for validation, for someone to say, now you're ready. But the truth is, no one knows your potential the way you do. No one can walk your path for you. No one can carry your vision, your calling, or your destiny like you can. You were created with a purpose that is uniquely yours, and it is your responsibility to believe in it, protect it, and act on it, even when no one else does. Everything changes the moment you stop asking for permission and start owning your identity. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you've been through, or how many mistakes you've made. You are not your past. Your history may explain you, but it does not define you. You may have grown up without support, without resources, or without love, but that does not mean you were not born for something bigger. Your circumstances do not limit your potential. Your mindset does. And when you decide to believe in yourself, despite the odds, you break the cycle that held you back. You have gifts that no one else has. Your perspective, your ideas, your experiences, they are not random, they are intentional. They are your tools. The moment you begin to trust yourself, you stop playing small. You stop shrinking to fit in. You stop letting fear write your story. Fear will always have something to say, but you don't have to listen. You are not obligated to live a life of limitations just because fear keeps knocking. You owe it to yourself to live fully, to dream boldly, and to act courageously. That starts when you recognize your own value. When you look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I am capable. I am becoming. Believing in yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It means alignment. It means aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the truth of who you are, not with the lies you've been told or the failures you've experienced. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. Growth requires belief. Progress requires belief. And leadership, real leadership, begins with self-belief. People follow those who walk with conviction, who move with clarity, and who act with purpose. But none of that is possible unless you start with yourself. You may be in a season where no one believes in you. You may feel unseen, unheard, and unappreciated. But do not let that silence your fire. You still have a reason to rise. You still have work to do. There is still a future with your name on it. And the key to unlocking it is inside you. Stop waiting. Start building. Every day you choose to believe in yourself, you build confidence. And every time you act on that belief, you build momentum. Even the smallest step forward becomes a seed planted in the soil of your destiny. So wake up each day and remind yourself that your life has meaning. You don't need someone to hand you an opportunity when you have the ability to create one. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You are the moment. The longer you wait for others to believe in you, the more you delay your potential. Believe in yourself now. Start where you are. Use what you have. Trust who you are becoming and keep going. Because everything you're looking for starts with the decision to believe in you. Belief is what activates purpose. Without belief, even the greatest potential remains hidden, buried under layers of doubt, fear, and hesitation. You can have all the talent in the world, all the intelligence, all the ability, but if you don't believe in yourself, none of it will matter. Purpose does not automatically come alive just because it exists within you. It needs fuel, and that fuel is belief. When you believe that your life matters, that your contributions are important, and that you are here for a reason, you begin to move differently. You begin to walk with intention, speak with conviction, and act with courage. You stop playing it safe and start showing up as the person you were created to be. There are people who live their entire lives with gifts that never get used, with dreams that never leave their minds, simply because they never believed they were worthy enough or capable enough to pursue them. They let fear sit in the driver's seat, convincing them to settle for a version of life that feels safe but unfulfilled. And every time they thought about taking a risk or stepping out in faith, that voice of doubt would rise up and say, "Who do you think you are?" That's why belief is not just important, it is essential. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity for living a life of meaning. Believing in yourself is not about arrogance or pretending to have it all together. It's about understanding that even with your flaws, your setbacks, and your insecurities, you still have value. You still have something to offer. You still have a reason to keep moving forward. You don't need to have all the answers before you start. You just need enough belief to take the next step. That belief, even if it's just a small spark, can be the beginning of something powerful. It can be the catalyst that shifts your life in an entirely new direction. Every purpose-driven life begins with a decision. Not a decision to wait until things are perfect, but a decision to act with what you have where you are. When you activate your purpose through belief, you become unstoppable. Not because you'll never fail, but because failure no longer defines you. It becomes part of your learning, not the end of your story. Belief gives you the resilience to keep trying, to keep growing, and to keep pushing through the obstacles. It teaches you that progress is more important than perfection, and that growth is the reward of persistence. You must understand that your belief in yourself will not always feel strong. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when the challenges seem too big, and when the path ahead looks unclear. But belief is not a feeling, it's a choice. A choice you make again and again, especially when things are hard. Choosing to believe in yourself means choosing to keep going, even when the results don't show up right away. It means trusting that your efforts are planting seeds, even if you can't yet see the harvest. Your purpose is not waiting for the perfect opportunity, it's waiting for your permission. Waiting for you to believe that you are ready, that you are enough, and that your life matters. And once you believe it, everything begins to align. Your actions gain power, your voice gains strength, and your future begins to open up. You begin to live intentionally, to make decisions with clarity, and to create impact from a place of authenticity. That is the power of belief. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about building a life rooted in purpose, driven by conviction, and sustained by faith in who you are and who you are becoming. The world will always have opinions about who you are and what you should be. People will project their fears onto you, their limitations, their failures. They'll tell you what's realistic, what's possible, and what's too much to dream about. If you're not careful, you'll begin to shape your identity around their expectations. You'll shrink your vision to fit their comfort zones. You'll lower your standards to avoid standing out just to be accepted. But there comes a moment when you have to decide, do you want to be approved or do you want to be authentic? Because the two don't always walk hand in hand. Authenticity begins when you no longer let other people's voices drown out your own. It begins when you stop seeking permission to be who you already are. Your authenticity is your power. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about being honest, about what you believe, what you value, what you want, and what you're capable of. When you walk in authenticity, you're not trying to be better than anyone else. You're simply being the truest version of yourself. And that version of you is more than enough. You don't need to copy someone else's blueprint for success. You don't need to mimic their path or fit into their mold. You were created differently on purpose. Your uniqueness is your assignment. It's the key that unlocks the right doors and attracts the right people into your life. Living authentically requires courage. It means making decisions that others may not understand. It means standing alone sometimes. It means refusing to play a role just to make others comfortable. But here's the truth. When you choose authenticity over approval, you may lose some people, but you'll find your purpose. You'll discover a peace that can't be bought. A confidence that doesn't depend on compliments, and a strength that's rooted in self-respect. Approval is temporary and conditional. One moment you have it, the next it's gone. But authenticity is steady. It anchors you when the storms come, when critics speak, and when you face the unknown. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself enough to keep going. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world are not the ones who tried to fit in. They're the ones who dared to stand out. They trusted their instincts when no one else did. They followed their vision even when it made others uncomfortable. They made peace with being misunderstood because they knew who they were. That kind of clarity only comes when you stop chasing external approval and start listening to your internal compass. The irony is, the more you walk in authenticity, the more approval you eventually receive from the right people. People who are aligned with your values, your energy, your purpose. People who don't want you to be anything but real. When you stop trying to impress and start trying to express, your life begins to change. You start building relationships based on truth, not pretense. You start creating work that feels meaningful, not just marketable. You start living a life that feels aligned, not just admired. So stop waiting for others to validate your voice. Speak with intention. Live with purpose. Choose integrity over popularity. There's a deep kind of freedom that comes when you stop asking, will they like me? And start asking, am I being true to myself? That's where real confidence is born, not from applause, but from alignment, from knowing that you are walking in your truth, on your terms, with your head held high. And once you taste that kind of freedom, you'll never go back to seeking approval again. Because being real is always greater than being liked. Self-belief is the foundation upon which every achievement, every dream, and every success is built. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas remain just ideas, never brought to life. When you believe in yourself, you create a powerful energy that propels you forward, helping you to overcome obstacles, silence doubt, and push beyond limits. It's the difference between someone who waits for life to happen and someone who makes life happen. But self-belief is not something that always comes naturally or easily. It is a skill, a mindset, and a practice that you develop over time through your experiences, your reflections, and your decisions. To truly believe in yourself means you recognize your inherent worth, no matter what others say or think. It means you accept your strengths and acknowledge your weaknesses, without letting either define your value. When you believe in yourself, you are not arrogant or dismissive of others. Instead, you are confident in your ability to grow, learn, and improve. You understand that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to success. You embrace challenges as opportunities to prove your resilience rather than as threats to your identity. This mindset shift transforms how you approach life, from reacting out of fear to responding with faith in your own abilities. Believing in yourself also requires you to take responsibility for your life. It means you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or external events for your lack of progress. Instead, you look inward and ask, what can I do today to move closer to my goals? This shift in focus gives you control. It empowers you to act rather than wait. When you believe in yourself, you become your own biggest supporter. You cheer yourself on, especially when things get tough, reminding yourself that you are capable and worthy. This internal support system is crucial because there will always be moments of doubt and external criticism. What matters is that you have a strong enough belief in yourself to keep moving forward anyway. Another important aspect of self-belief is surrounding yourself with positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or avoiding criticism. Rather, it means choosing to fill your mind and environment with encouragement, inspiration, and people who uplift you. When you believe in yourself, you recognize the importance of protecting your energy and focus. You understand that the company you keep and the messages you consume impact your mindset. So you seek out mentors, friends, and resources that reinforce your confidence and challenge you to grow. You distance yourself from negativity that sows doubt and holds you back. Building self-belief also involves celebrating small victories. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how tiny, is proof that your belief is real and active. Taking time to acknowledge these wins reinforces your confidence and motivates you to keep going. It's easy to get discouraged when you focus only on how far you have to go. But when you shift your focus to how far you've come, you build momentum. You create a cycle of positive reinforcement that strengthens your belief and fuels your actions. Ultimately, believing in yourself is a lifelong journey. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt and moments of clarity. But what matters is that you keep choosing belief over fear, courage over comfort, and action over inertia. When you do this, you unlock a power within you that no external circumstance can take away. You become the author of your own story, writing it with intention and purpose. Self-belief is not just about achieving goals, it's about living a life true to who you are, fulfilling the potential you were created to realize. It all begins with one simple but profound decision: to believe in yourself. When you choose to believe in yourself, you open the door to a world of possibilities that were previously hidden by doubt and uncertainty. Self-belief is the foundation for every success story, the spark that ignites action, and the anchor that keeps you steady in the face of challenges. Without it, even the clearest goals can feel unreachable, and the strongest dreams can fade into mere wishes. But when you truly believe in your ability to overcome, to learn, and to grow, you create a mindset that not only embraces opportunity, but also refuses to give up no matter the obstacles. Believing in yourself is not about ignoring reality or pretending that life will always be easy. It is about acknowledging your fears and doubts, but choosing to move forward anyway. It means understanding that setbacks are not permanent failures, but lessons that guide you toward improvement. This mindset transforms your relationship with challenges from one of avoidance or defeat to one of curiosity and resilience. When you believe in yourself, you see problems as puzzles to be solved, not as insurmountable walls blocking your path. You start to look at difficulties as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. The process of developing self-belief often starts with small actions. Every time you take a step outside your comfort zone, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Each small success, whether it's finishing a task, learning a new skill, or facing a fear, adds to your growing confidence. These wins accumulate, reinforcing your belief that you can handle whatever life throws at you. It's important to recognize and celebrate these moments because they build momentum. When you focus on progress rather than perfection, you create a cycle of motivation that propels you forward. Self-belief also requires a certain level of self-awareness. You need to understand your strengths and weaknesses honestly, without harsh judgment or denial. This self-awareness allows you to play to your strengths while actively working to improve your weaknesses. It means you don't have to be perfect to believe in yourself. You just need to be willing to grow. This growth mindset shifts your perspective from a fixed notion of ability to a flexible and evolving understanding of what's possible. It helps you see failure as temporary and effort as the path to mastery. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another key factor in building self-belief. The people you spend time with, the messages you consume, and the environment you create all impact how you see yourself. When you choose to be around supportive, encouraging individuals, their belief in you can bolster your own. On the other hand, negative influences can chip away at your confidence, making it harder to maintain faith in your ability. Being selective about your company and what you allow into your mind helps protect and nurture your self-belief. Believing in yourself also means taking responsibility for your life and your choices. It means no longer blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for where you are. Instead, you claim ownership of your actions and decisions, understanding that you have the power to change your direction. This sense of ownership is empowering because it puts you in the driver's seat of your life. You begin to see yourself as an active creator of your future rather than a passive victim of fate. Ultimately, self-belief is about commitment. It's a promise you make to yourself that no matter what happens, you will keep moving forward, keep learning, and keep growing. This commitment gives you the resilience to face uncertainty with courage and the patience to trust the process even when results aren't immediate. It teaches you that the most important belief is the one you have in yourself, because that belief fuels everything else. When you believe in yourself, you light a fire that can never be extinguished. A fire that leads to fulfillment, achievement, and a life lived with purpose and passion. The foundation of success and personal fulfillment lies deeply rooted in the act of trusting yourself. Trusting yourself means having faith in your own judgment, intuition, and abilities, even when external circumstances seem uncertain or when others doubt you. It is about believing that you possess the inner wisdom to make decisions that align with your values and aspirations. This kind of trust does not come overnight. It is cultivated over time through experiences, reflection, and self-awareness. Without self-trust, it becomes easy to fall prey to fear, hesitation, and second-guessing, which can stall progress and limit growth. When you trust yourself, you develop a quiet confidence that steadies you in moments of doubt. It's not about arrogance or overestimating your abilities, but about being grounded in the understanding that you are capable of handling whatever life presents. This trust allows you to navigate uncertainty with grace, making choices that feel authentic rather than pressured by external opinions. The more you trust yourself, the less you seek validation from others, freeing you from the need to constantly prove your worth. This freedom creates space for you to pursue your passions and dreams without fear of judgment or failure. Building self-trust begins with listening to your inner voice. Often, our intuition offers guidance that we overlook or dismiss because it doesn't fit with what others say or what seems logical at the moment. Learning to tune into this inner wisdom requires patience and practice. Start by paying attention to your gut feelings and small nudges that tell you what feels right or wrong. Reflect on times when following your instincts led to positive outcomes. These moments serve as evidence that your inner guidance can be trusted. When you begin to honor your intuition, you build a stronger connection with yourself, which in turn strengthens your trust. Self-trust also involves accepting responsibility for your actions and their outcomes. When you trust yourself, you are willing to own both your successes and mistakes. This ownership is essential because it empowers you to learn and grow rather than fall into blame or victimhood. Trusting yourself means understanding that mistakes are not reflections of your worth, but opportunities for growth. Each time you take responsibility, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of managing life's challenges. This cycle of action, reflection, and learning deepens your trust and resilience. Another important element of self-trust is setting healthy boundaries. When you trust yourself, you know what is acceptable and what is not in your relationships and environment. You respect your own needs and limits and communicate them clearly to others. This helps protect your energy and maintain your sense of integrity. Without trust in yourself, it's easy to say yes to things that drain you or conflict with your values just to please others. But with self-trust, you create a safe space where your well-being comes first, allowing you to operate from a place of strength and authenticity. Self-trust also enhances your decision-making. When you believe in your ability to choose wisely, you reduce the anxiety that often accompanies important choices. Instead of being paralyzed by fear of making the wrong decision, you embrace a mindset of learning and adaptability. You recognize that no choice is permanent and that you have the capacity to adjust your course if needed. This flexibility builds confidence, making you more willing to take calculated risks and seize opportunities that lead to growth. Ultimately, trusting yourself is about cultivating a deep relationship with who you are. It means believing that your inner compass is reliable, that your experiences have prepared you, and that you are worthy of success and happiness. This trust becomes a foundation that supports you through challenges, guides you toward your purpose, and fuels your courage to step into the unknown. When you trust yourself fully, you unlock a powerful source of motivation and resilience, enabling you to live a life that is truly aligned with your highest potential. Gratitude is one of the most transformative attitudes you can cultivate in life, especially when it comes to believing in yourself. It shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, from problems to possibilities. When you consistently practice gratitude, you train your mind to recognize and appreciate the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they may seem. This positive mindset strengthens your self-belief because it grounds you in reality, a reality where you have already achieved, experienced, or received something valuable. Recognizing these blessings builds confidence that more good things are possible, including your own success and growth. The act of gratitude rewires your brain to look for good rather than bad, to see opportunities instead of obstacles. This mental shift is crucial because your thoughts and beliefs shape your reality. When you focus on gratitude, you become more resilient to setbacks and challenges. Instead of allowing difficulties to discourage you, gratitude encourages you to see them as part of a bigger picture, lessons that contribute to your personal development. This resilience reinforces your belief in yourself because you understand that even in tough times, there are reasons to keep going and reasons to trust in your potential. Practicing gratitude also helps reduce negative self-talk, which can be one of the biggest barriers to self-belief. When you habitually criticize yourself or focus on your shortcomings, your confidence erodes and doubts multiply. Gratitude interrupts this cycle by reminding you of your strengths, your past achievements, and the support you have around you. By appreciating what you already have and what you have accomplished, you create a buffer against self-doubt. This buffer is essential because it allows you to face new challenges with a more balanced and hopeful outlook. In addition, gratitude nurtures humility, which is a vital component of self-belief. Humility doesn't mean putting yourself down or underestimating your worth. Rather, it means acknowledging that you are part of a larger whole and that your success is often supported by the efforts of others and favorable circumstances. This perspective helps you stay grounded, open to learning, and willing to seek help when needed. When you combine gratitude with humility, you build a realistic yet optimistic view of yourself, which strengthens your self-belief in a sustainable way. Gratitude also fosters stronger relationships, and these relationships in turn bolster your confidence and belief in yourself. When you express gratitude toward others, you deepen your connections, creating a support network that encourages and uplifts you. Positive relationships are crucial for maintaining self-belief because they provide external affirmation and motivation. Knowing that others believe in you can reinforce your own belief, creating a positive feedback loop. Furthermore, when you are grateful, you tend to be more giving and generous, which builds goodwill and opens doors for collaboration and growth. In practical terms, incorporating gratitude into your daily life can be simple but powerful. Keeping a gratitude journal where you write down things you are thankful for each day can help keep your focus on positive aspects. Taking time each morning or evening to reflect on what went well or what you appreciate about yourself can shift your mindset. Even in challenging times, finding something, no matter how small, to be grateful for can make a significant difference. Over time, these small moments of gratitude build a strong foundation of self-belief. Ultimately, gratitude and self-belief are deeply interconnected. Gratitude creates a positive environment within your mind and heart where self-belief can flourish. It reminds you of your worth, your progress, and the abundance in your life, which fuels your motivation to pursue your goals. When you practice gratitude consistently, you develop a resilient, confident, and hopeful mindset that propels you forward. This mindset is essential because believing in yourself is not a one-time decision, but a continuous journey. Gratitude lights the path on this journey, making every step more meaningful and empowering. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is one of the most powerful ways to nurture and strengthen your belief in yourself. The people you spend time with, the environments you choose, and the information you consume all play a critical role in shaping how you perceive your own abilities and potential. Human beings are naturally influenced by their social circles and surroundings, and this influence can either lift you up or hold you back. When you consciously surround yourself with positive, supportive, and motivated individuals, you create an environment where self-belief can flourish and grow. Positive influences serve as a mirror, reflecting back to you what is possible. When you are around people who believe in themselves, who encourage growth and celebrate success, you begin to internalize those same beliefs. Their energy becomes contagious. Their optimism about life and their goals helps you see that your dreams are achievable too. Conversely, negative or toxic influences can cloud your vision with doubt, fear, and criticism. Constant exposure to negativity can drain your energy and diminish your confidence, making it much harder to hold on to the belief that you are capable and deserving of success. Choosing the right environment goes beyond just the people you interact with daily. It also involves being mindful of the media you consume, the places you frequent, and the kinds of conversations you engage in. For instance, reading inspiring books, listening to uplifting podcasts, or following motivational speakers can feed your mind with positive ideas and perspectives. These sources can serve as daily reminders of your potential and help reinforce your belief in yourself. On the other hand, excessive exposure to negative news, cynical commentary, or unsupportive social media can create doubt and anxiety. Being selective about what you allow into your mental space is a form of self-care that directly impacts your self-belief. Supportive relationships are crucial because they provide encouragement and constructive feedback, which are essential for growth. When you have people who believe in you, they help remind you of your strengths when you forget them yourself. They offer perspective during moments of self-doubt and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. This kind of encouragement is vital because believing in yourself does not mean you won't face setbacks or insecurities. It means you have a foundation of support that helps you get back up and keep going. The reassurance from others can reinforce your own inner voice, helping you to trust and believe in your abilities more deeply. Moreover, positive influences often challenge you to step outside your comfort zone and grow. They push you to try new things, to learn and to improve, all while providing a safety net of support. This encouragement to take risks is essential because growth happens when you face challenges head on. Without this kind of external support, it's easy to retreat into fear and self-doubt. But with a network of positive influences, you develop the courage to take action, learn from failure, and keep progressing. Building a circle of positive influences also involves giving back and contributing positively to others. When you surround yourself with people who are committed to personal growth and positivity, you are more likely to adopt similar behaviors yourself. This creates a virtuous cycle of mutual encouragement and motivation. Helping others believe in themselves by offering support and encouragement not only strengthens their confidence, but also reinforces your own. This interconnectedness fosters a community of growth where everyone benefits. It's important to recognize that cultivating positive influences is a deliberate process. Sometimes it means distancing yourself from relationships or habits that no longer serve your growth or well-being. This can be difficult, but it's necessary to protect your mental and emotional space. Prioritizing relationships and environments that uplift you is a form of self-respect and a strategic step toward building unshakable self-belief. In the end, surrounding yourself with positive influences is not about ignoring reality or surrounding yourself only with yes people. It's about creating a balanced environment where honesty, encouragement, and growth coexist. When you surround yourself with those who support and challenge you constructively, you build a foundation that empowers you to trust in your potential and capability. This foundation becomes the soil in which your self-belief can grow strong and resilient, helping you to navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. Taking action consistently is one of the most essential habits to develop when building self-belief. It is easy to feel motivated or inspired in moments, but real confidence comes from doing the deliberate, ongoing process of turning thoughts and dreams into tangible results. Action transforms abstract ideas into reality, and with each step you take toward your goals, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of making things happen. This repeated cycle of setting intentions, acting on them, and seeing progress builds a foundation of trust in yourself that words or positive thinking alone cannot provide. Consistent action is important because it creates momentum. When you begin to take even small steps regularly, you generate forward motion that can carry you through periods of doubt or difficulty. Momentum reduces resistance because the habit of acting becomes natural. It also creates visible evidence of your ability to achieve, which strengthens your confidence. Each accomplishment, no matter how minor, serves as proof that you can succeed. This evidence is powerful because it counters the negative self-talk and fears that often undermine self-belief. Moreover, taking action consistently teaches you resilience. Along the journey, challenges and setbacks are inevitable. But by continuing to act, you learn to face these obstacles without losing faith in yourself. Each time you push through a difficult moment, you reinforce your capacity to handle adversity. This process builds mental toughness and emotional strength, qualities that are essential for sustained self-belief. Instead of avoiding problems or waiting for the perfect moment, consistent action encourages you to engage directly with challenges and grow from the experience. An important aspect of consistent action is the willingness to start imperfectly. Waiting for conditions to be ideal or for yourself to feel completely ready often leads to procrastination and missed opportunities. Trusting yourself means recognizing that you don't have to be perfect to begin. Starting with small, imperfect steps is more valuable than waiting endlessly. As you take action, you learn, adjust, and improve along the way. This iterative process increases your skills and confidence simultaneously. The key is to prioritize progress over perfection, knowing that each action brings you closer to your goals and strengthens your belief in your capabilities. Consistency also reinforces discipline, which is a cornerstone of self-trust. Discipline is the ability to keep going even when motivation wanes or distractions arise. It requires commitment and self-portrayal. When you discipline yourself to take action regularly, you demonstrate to yourself that you are dependable and capable of following through. This sense of reliability within yourself boosts your confidence and makes it easier to face future challenges. Over time, disciplined action becomes a habit, creating a stable foundation for sustained growth and self-belief. Another powerful benefit of consistent action is that it helps you gain clarity and focus. When you act regularly toward your goals, you develop a better understanding of what works and what doesn't. This feedback allows you to refine your plans and make smarter decisions. It also reduces overwhelm because you break large goals into manageable steps. Instead of feeling lost or stuck, you feel empowered by having a clear direction and a plan to follow. This clarity feeds back into your self-belief because you trust yourself more when you know how to navigate your path effectively. Importantly, consistent action connects your inner world with your outer reality. It bridges the gap between your intentions, values, and aspirations and the tangible results you create. This alignment is crucial because when your actions reflect your authentic self, you experience a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Acting in alignment with your true goals fosters integrity and self-respect, which are foundational to lasting self-belief. When you act consistently, you are not just dreaming or hoping, you are proving to yourself that you can turn your vision into reality. Ultimately, consistent action is the engine that drives self-belief forward. It is the practical expression of your commitment to yourself and your goals. By taking regular steps, you gather evidence of your competence, build resilience, develop discipline, gain clarity, and align your life with your values. This comprehensive process deepens your trust in your abilities and your worthiness to succeed. Remember, belief in yourself is not a fixed state, but a living, evolving quality that grows stronger through the actions you take every day. Consistency transforms belief from a hopeful idea into a powerful reality that sustains you throughout your journey.